Hey everybody, I am so excited to be back to my old self. I'm still on the upswing. I've got a few more sniffles and my throat's still a little bit weird, but I am getting so much better. I'm really excited to sort of feel like myself again for this week's video. Before I get started on that though, I do have one tiny announcement. There's just over a week left to enter the Damsel Distressed cover design contest. So please be sure to tell your friends that are artistically inclined. I would love to see their entries and I'm super excited at the thought of one of these entries being the cover of my book. It like blows my mind. I'm so excited. So yes, just over a week left. Continue to tell your friends. Please, please, please. I will love you forever. So for today's video, I have decided to go back to my roots. I'm going back to the second episode of KelsNotChels NOT Live that I ever recorded. And it's titled 10 Reasons Writers Are Crazy. If you haven't already seen the original video, I'll link to it right here. It's really interesting to see how the sort of production values of the vlog have changed over the course of the last several months. But yeah, it was really funny and I think people really liked it and I think that people related to it. So without further ado, here are 5 more reasons that all of us writers are completely and totally crazy. And make no mistake, I mean crazy crazy. Like real crazy. Okay, first up, writers love writing. Writing is our passion. It's the reason we wake up in the morning. There's no other thing we'd rather be doing with our time than honing our craft and telling an amazing story. Except for maybe dusting all the floorboards, cleaning all the bathrooms, checking to make sure every light bulb in the house still works, refolding all of our fitted sheets. But seriously, for people who love writing so much, we sure will do anything to avoid it. Am I right? Up next, we have absolutely no problem with the fact that we have a significant dependency upon a chemical substance. That's right, we're crazy addicted to caffeine, usually coffee. Coffee. It's the crack of the writing world. Coffee is so important we've seriously considered dedicating our book to this stuff. Coffee is so important it's gonna have its own paragraph in our acknowledgments. Coffee is so important that when we send a care package to our fellow writers, we're gonna include chocolate-covered espresso beans because obviously that's a good idea. I honestly cannot imagine what books would be on our shelf right now, what they would have in them if none of the writers had coffee. Like I can't even imagine. I mean, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix would have been about 14 pages long because if she hadn't had a cup of joe, she would have quit writing after about an hour. Writers are so crazy that sometimes we worry more about our writing tools than we do about the writing. I mean, really, who could start writing without at least 5 different colors of ink pens? Okay, just getting settled in to write. It's a good thing I have all of these jumbo Post-its. Even though I'm composing my novel exclusively on the computer, I'm almost out of 0.7mm pencil lead. Better run out to get some. Whoa, where's my pink highlighter? Yellow, blue, green. Where is my pink highlighter? So as soon as we get an editor or an agent, we think that they're the best thing ever and we know that they think we are the best things ever, and then eventually it's time to get to work. And at that point, we decide that our editor or our agent totally hates us. Because that makes sense. We are so critical of ourselves that we almost can't function, like at all. I mean, our responses to even the smallest things become completely ridiculous. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I just finished rereading The Fault in Our Stars and I'm like, why do you pretend like you can make words? And then I'm looking at the takeout Chinese menu and I'm like, this is brilliant. You know, I should probably just start over and scrap this whole book. Think about this. Writers spend the entire querying process believing that their manuscript is amazing and it's as good as it can be. And then they spend the entire submission process convinced that they have written the worst novel in the history of the universe. So ridiculous. Get ready, kids. Kelsey's about to make her inspirational push to the finish line. Writers are crazy enough to pull 20-hour days to work a day job, to get on Twitter and support other writers and put on a happy face even on the very same day they've been personally rejected, to read their friends' books 3, 4, 5 times just because that's what it means to be a critique partner. Writers are willing to go through months and years sometimes of rejection and waiting, and all for what? So that maybe one day, if they're really, really lucky, something that lived exclusively in their own head can be a thing on a few scraps of paper, dribbled with a little ink, they can hold in their hand. That's pretty crazy. But it's also pretty brave. Keep being crazy. It looks good on you. Have a great week.